Hi guys. How about a little mini tour of our garden and what we've done so far? Come along and I will give you a little mini tour and share your thoughts with us. Thank you for following us. We appreciate every one of you. Hello everyone. A continuation of a mini tour of our garden. We have a bit of an addition that we worked on yesterday, and since I love basil so much, I'm also growing what is called holy basil, and it is also called tulsi. Well, Jim made me some amazing smaller raised beds, and that one is housing some basil, some parsley, and some oregano. And this one over here is housing just the tulsi. So we found some branches and we added the branches to the raised beds as semi-shade, so they get some dappled shade in the sun in the afternoon, and it helps the plants instead of getting the full brunt of the sun and burning to a crisp, because the sun is super strong here. I put some bells on top of the tulsi. I plan to stain both these raised beds. I'm also thinking of stenciling on them. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Our raspberry bed over there is getting a little bit of a makeover. We put some tin up top, so we're going to put a gutter at the end of it, so it becomes a rain catchment system over there in the corner. Which will really help my watering my plants. We are looking into the drip system, and that will save me a lot of time from watering. Not only that, but it will also save a lot of water. So far, that is the mini tour. I hope you enjoyed our little inspiration in the desert. Stay tuned as we add more and as we continue to build and change things around here. It is definitely a labor of love. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing our journey.
Good morning, everybody. This is Jim and Z. Yesterday, before it rained, we put up this little extension off the chicken coop to kind of provide shade, because since there's no shade out here, and that's one of the essential things living where we are. But I ran out of 2x4s, but hopefully I'll get some more. Z's down planting peppermint, spearmint, or chocolate mint, one of the three. It's beneficial for the chickens, and it's also beneficial to keep some of the bugs and insects that we don't want away. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I've planted 3 different kinds of mint. This is regular mint, and here is some spearmint, And here is some chocolate mint. I know mint is invasive, and I know that it spreads really quickly, but that's what I like it to do, because this is not only beneficial for a section of my garden, but it is also beneficial for the chickens, and also keeps away a lot of critters and has a lot of health benefits. So I planted it in a section of my garden where I don't mind that it spreads. The chocolate mint is really, it smells and tastes like chocolate mint. It's amazing. If you can find it, do plant it in your garden, because it comes in really handy for all your baking needs, and you can add it to your cookies and breads and pastries, and it's amazing. This is one of the plants of basil, and it seems to have taken a life of its own. It's doing pretty good. I'm letting it go to flower because I'd like to collect some more seeds. And tucked in this corner is some oregano, and right on that corner is some parsley. This is my newest box, and as you can see, I put some fencing material over it, and I covered it with weed cloth, and in the afternoon I cover it completely because the sun is too strong for it, and it's got some baby plants in there, and I don't want them getting too much sun. It's got a lavender in there, it's got some lemon balm in there, and it's got a catnip plant in there. It's got some more nasturtiums, some echinacea, and some Shasta daisies in there. So this is in infancy, so we will see how it develops. Right next to the basil and parsley and oregano, I started some tulsi, which is holy basil, from seed. I shared some with our neighbor, and it's doing pretty good, I'd say. So Jim made a really neat 2 specification little box for my tulsi, and we made a little stand, and I put some water on top for the butterflies, and it's got some bells and semi-shade in the afternoon. This year was a bit of a trial for the lettuce. I threw some carrots in on the side over here, but this lettuce has done phenomenally well. I've been basically taking a scissor and chopping the tops off and feeding it to the geese and chickens, and it keeps growing back really, really well. And again, in the afternoon, it gets a bit of a shade. The cucumbers so far are doing really well. I'm looking forward to having some really fresh homegrown cucumbers. I did plant some dill and some nasturtiums behind them as companion plants, because they benefit from being planted in the same bed. And I've got quite a bit of flowers on the cucumbers. I'm trying to I put weed cloth in the back of it because that's where the strongest sun comes in, and I do not want my cucumbers getting burnt by the sun before they can even produce. I planted a few morning glories and doing a little bit of a trial to see how they would mature, and they're growing really nicely, and they're kind of forming their own path and growing up the little bit of a canopy that we've created. The canopy that we have created is cut down mesquite trees, and the stalks of the yucca plant, when they're done flowering, we use them as cross pieces, and we either nail them in or lash them in with twine, and they provide a very good amount of shade in the afternoon. So why not use what our land is giving us? And it's turning out really pretty. I'm letting the asparagus go this year because I wanted to work on its growth. So a few of them I trimmed at the top, but the rest I'm going to let go. Next year I might harvest a few, but this year they're going to just grow and develop. Our eggplant is doing quite well. I was kind of worried that it would not, but it seems to have taken off, and it is producing now, and I planted some marigolds with it, and then there's pepper, and it's got some flowers on it, so that's pretty exciting news. And our trial patch of potatoes seems to be taking off. It's doing pretty good. I keep packing it down with straw. Next year we'll make it longer. Since I got my handy dandy rototiller, I'm going to extend it. This box here, right by the fence, holds white sage and nasturtiums, and there's some zinnias back there and some marigolds. They seem to be doing really nicely also. It says that white sage thrives in desert conditions, but it has required a little more water than usual because of the high heat and the strong sun. This bottle is here because I'm trying to make little traps for grasshoppers, because one of the leaves of the apple tree, I saw a grasshopper had chewed on it. So I made a little trap and I set it right next to it to deter it, catch it, something. My baby apple tree, my one and only baby apple tree that I started from seed. I got the apples from Walmart and I put it in the fridge for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then it started showing signs of growing, and I put it in a pot, and here it is. Keep your fingers crossed, it keeps growing. They could do with a little bit more water. Sometimes I water them more. This weekend we're going to make them a trellis because they've started growing long canes, and we actually are seeing some flowers and fruit on our blackberries, and I am super duper excited.